Good morning, traders. It is Tuesday and I have got 5:53 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is California time, and I'm going to start trading here in just a few minutes. I've got multiple different trades I can take today, called out in my charting service in advance, and I wasn't able to do the charting service until late, so it was probably about, about 7 hours ago I called it out. And because I got home late, I went to Singapore over the weekend and didn't get back until late today, which is Tuesday. See, what time is it here? It's like almost 8 p.m. Tuesday night here in Bangkok, Thailand. And I just went to Singapore for the weekend. I am gearing up to do seminars held in Bangkok and Singapore, possibly even Hong Kong, but right now I'm going to focus on Bangkok and Singapore. Singapore is a very nice place. It's extremely clean, very well organized. It's got a lot of good attributes to it. It's like a San Diego, but very much cleaner than San Diego. Anyway, I'm going to start trading here. Actually, I'm not really sure if it should be called trading, since this isn't really trading. You know, I'm going to take advantage of the computer in just a little bit, and I'm going to know which direction this thing's going to go, because the computer that's moving it around leaves behind tells, and I'm going to be able to read those tells, and I'm going to know which direction it's going to go before it goes there, all in advance. And in fact, I even called it out 7 hours ago. One of the benefits to breaking the code 10 years ago. And I'm going to be doing seminars, and I'm going to show all of this in real time in front of hundreds of people and record the whole thing on camera. And then the world will wake up, because it will have no choice but to do anything but wake up. It's one thing for me to do this like this and have a bunch of, con artists and criminals sit there and call me a scam till they're blue in the face for the last 6 years, but it's another thing for people to see it in real time, and then they're going to have no choice but to wake up. And I am going to attempt, I don't know if I will be successful, but I am going to attempt to call every news agency and every newspaper to come out and report on it. Whether they really will or not remains to be seen, but I am going to try very hard to get them to report on it, because I believe that the world should know that all of the markets are being controlled by a computer. I think that's only fair for the world to know. It's not fair for these con artists and criminals to put on the illusion of a free market when there is no such a thing as a free market. It doesn't exist. And if you think that, that's the extent of their crime, oh man, it goes 1,000 times deeper than that. But in any event, again, I'm not trying to change the world here. I'm simply trying to wake people up and give them an opportunity to make money, obviously, at this, whatever you want to call it, corruption, I suppose. Anyway, I'll come back very shortly. I'm going to take some trades that were called out in my charting service 7 hours ago, approximately. Now, if I wanted to, I could take, many trades over and over and over again. Not all of which would be successful, but most of them would be. I call that free trading the code. But I am going to take precision level entries good for a good amount of ticks called out within my charting service. Okay, I've got a short entry here. I'll be right back. By the way, for you charting subscribers, I'm not waiting for the breakout technique. I'm just simply jumping in here, testing the waters. Stop will be very tight. It's either going to keep going down or it'll pop back up. If it does, it'll just hit a tight stop, and I'll just take another entry again. That's all. When you trade, sometimes you can play the breakout, or you can jump in and test the waters. Just make sure that when you're jumping in and testing the water, that you have a very tight stop. You don't want to have a big, huge stop if you're gonna jump in like that. It's okay to take these small little losses as long as you know what you're doing and can hit the big trade when you need to, or with some accuracy is what I'm saying. And with the charting service, obviously you can do that quite easily. Anyway, I'll come right back. I'm going to check the exit and the stop, make sure it looks good. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got 66 on the stop. That puts that at 11 ticks, and I've got 60 ticks on the exit right here. And I will come back shortly to show you the progression and, of course, the outcome of this trade. If it goes down a little bit more, let's say another 5 or at least 5, maybe 10 ticks, I'm going to place a break-even stop on it at 44, 54, and just let it go. Either hit the break-even stop or keep going down. Be right back. In real trading, when something is really trading, you have to constantly test the water all the time. Even when you're sure, relatively sure about a trade, you think it has a high mathematical percentage of winning, you're still testing the water at all times. You never just get in and just hold it. You're always testing just to see if it wants to go the right way, and if it does, you get it right, then you hold it for whatever you think you can get. Now, this obviously is much easier because you have mathematics on your side. Since a computer being programmed, it's been programmed mathematically, so you have that mathematics on your side. But real trading, you have no such math. It's more of like a you wait for certain periods of time where everything is lining up just right. I don't mean indicators. I mean like different various things that you can get. Like, for instance, you've got some bad news out there and you just think it's going to go down, or you got some great news out there and you think it's going to go up, or something like that. You've got something on your side. You've got a whole bunch of people on the bid but hardly anybody on the ask. That type of thing. So you use these advantages wherever and anywhere that you can find them in the real trading world to get yourself into a right position. But this is much, much, much easier. You just have to learn how to read the mathematics behind the computer, which is very simple, of course. And then you can take trades and get them right over and over again, like you see me do. Anyway, I will, and like for instance, it was coming back up right there. If you get scared and you get back out, right, then you're gonna miss the move down if it does move down. You see what I'm saying? You got to learn how to think mathematically. And so, once you learn how to think mathematically like that, you can make the right decisions. You're not gonna always be right, of course, but if you like, a lot of people tell me, they say, in every trade I'm wrong, I lose the stop, and every trade I'm right, I get out early. I said, yeah, you got your math all messed up. There's no way that you can be successful like that. It's impossible. It's mathematically impossible. So you have to get your math right. You have to learn how to think mathematically and then act mathematically. If you cannot do that, then you cannot be successful trading. And that's where people run into a problem. They don't think mathematically, number one, and number two, they get emotional about everything. So every time they lose the full stop. Every time they win, they get out early. Because why? Why'd they get out early? Because they're scared. Well, that's being scared has nothing to do with thinking mathematically. Let me tell you something that helped me out a long time ago. I used to play blackjack professionally for many, many years. In fact, I would say that I'm the most successful blackjack player in history. I would absolutely say that. And when I show you I broke the blackjack code, you'll understand why. And one of the things that I first started off with is that, I'd get emotional about the game and make bad decisions and stuff. And so one day I was watching Star Trek, and I was watching one of the shows was about this little boy who lost his parents, and he took on the persona of Data, which is an android which has no emotions, because he didn't want to feel the emotions that he was feeling, the pain that he was feeling from losing his parents. So he took on the persona of an android that he had no emotions, therefore he couldn't feel the pain. I adopted this attitude where I would be an android with no emotions playing blackjack. I would simply think mathematically and have no emotions about the game. And then, although, it's easier said than done, it did help me, because I would just simply forget about, whether I was going to lose or whether I was going to win. It didn't matter, because I knew I had the math on my side. And so I just simply played the math and forgot about the emotions. And it helped. It really did help, and helped me to practice that. And then that later became a friend of mine in the trading world, where you get rid of the emotions, you become an android, you don't have emotions, and you simply play it mathematically. It works. It helps. I'll come back. And I was winning a tremendous amount of money playing blackjack with a 65% success ratio. 65%. And now I have a much, much higher percentage than that in trading. I can get my percentage up pretty darn high in trading. So I make far more money, and also far more controlled as well. Okay, it's starting to move down here pretty good. I'm going to wait for it to get a little bit lower, say in the mid-30s. Let's say once it breaks the 44.35 that it went down to, I'm going to go ahead and place a break-even stop on it and just let it go. It'll either go down to the exit or it'll hit the break-even stop, one of the two. See, there's your math again. There is your mathematics. Listen to what I just said. It'll either go down and hit the exit, which is down here for 60 ticks, or it'll come back and break the break-even stop. You say, well, why don't you take the 20? Well, how would you know 20? How would you know 30? How would you know 40? You have to play it mathematically. Otherwise, you'll always get out early and then lose. Are you going to get out early on the stop? Most likely not, because you're not going to want to lose. You see, you have to think mathematically about it all the time. I can get traders try to tell me, well, I only need to make, $500 a day. That's all I want to do, just make $500 a day. Well, unfortunately, mathematics doesn't work like that. I can't even do that. And I know the code. Nobody in the world can do that. Some days you make certain amounts, some days you don't. There's no way that you can put a criteria on yourself like that. Some days you do really well, some days you don't. The criteria that you should put is that you do the best you can. You do what you can. So they make that mistake right there. You have a bad day and you need to make 500, and then you have a wipeout day. And that's another thing. You have to take precautions that you're never going to have a wipeout day. Like I've heard people tell me, yeah, well, I got this stock and I bought it, and or I shorted it, and then it went up, and I didn't want to get out because I was losing money, and then it just kept going up. You got your math wrong in two different ways. Number one, you don't make anywhere near as much money going short as you do going long. That's number one right there. And number two, like for instance, if you short a stock and it's at $5 and it goes down to 0, how much do you make? You make 100%. If you buy a stock for $5 and it goes to $10, how much money do you make? You make 100%. If it goes to $15, how much money you make? 200%. It goes to $20, how much money you make? 300%. You make far more money going up than you do going down. Therefore, you're going the wrong way mathematically already if you're going to go short. I'm not saying that shorting is not bad. I short all the time. But I'm just saying that your math isn't as good. So you certainly don't want to hold going up when you are short, or you're going to get slaughtered. You know, if you short, you better go down. If it doesn't, you get out for a small loss. Always think like that as a trader. No matter, number one rule as a trader, you get in, you know exactly where you're going to get out, and let it be a small stop. Don't let it be a big stop, because you're going to get slaughtered. And if you think stocks is bad, oh man, trading the futures like this, you will get slaughtered. You will lose your entire account. Whereas let's say you have a $20,000 account and you buy a stock for $5,000, and that stock goes to zero. How much did you lose? $5,000. You still have $15,000 in your account, right? Well, you have $20,000 in your account. You put $5,000 going one way or another, and it goes just a little ways. You lose your whole $20,000 in your account. The whole thing, gone. Just like you can make a lot of money, you can also lose it if you're going the wrong way. So in the futures, trading oil or any other futures, it is absolutely 100% critical that you have a very small stop. One of the beautiful things about the code is that you're going to know exactly down to the tick where to place your stop. There is no system in the world that can compare to breaking the code to the computer behind all of the movement in the markets. And the people who are against me will claim anything and everything that they need to claim to try and convince people that this isn't real, that I didn't really break the code. And, you know, they're in for a very big surprise, because I'm going to be doing seminars soon, and I'm going to be showing people in real time, hundreds of people, businessmen, news reporters, you name it. Anybody who wants to come. After they see me do a few and put them up to YouTube, they will be coming in droves, by the thousands, to come and watch me do this, all from around the world. And when they see me do it with their own two eyes, they are going to want to get involved. There is no stopping this knowledge from getting out to the public. There is no stopping it. I'll be back. Okay, it's getting very close to the exit here. This needs to go down a little bit more. I'm hoping that it will hit here real soon. I plan to go to dinner. I haven't had a whole lot of time today to eat. So I'm going to go to dinner, and then I'll come back and take at least one more. Well, actually, I'm just going to take one more trade after this one. So I'm hoping to hit the 60 tick exit here, and then I'm going to go for another 60 tick exit on the next trade as well. And if successful, I'll end with about 120 ticks for the session. Not bad, especially with just two different trades. Precision level trading using the knowledge of how the computer works behind all of the movement. I, of course, will be able to do this in front of people in real time, right in front of their eyes, with absolutely no way whatsoever to fake it. And people are going to wake up. And that is my agenda, to wake people up. This isn't just about trading for me. This is about the knowledge of the code that I broke. I want people to know what's going on. I want people to know who has done this to the world. And I want people to know that I broke the code. Anyway, I will come back shortly. By the way, let me not make the same mistake Moses made, and give credit where credit is due. All of my knowledge comes from the creator of all things. So let me not take the credit for myself, because if I do, that would be wrong to do so. I will come back. Okay, it's very close here, 8 ticks away. If it doesn't make it here shortly, I am going to jump out. There is a possibility of a reversal coming here. So I will need it to stretch out now and go down and hit it. Otherwise, a reversal could be possible. Okay, I've just jumped out of the trade just there. It was very close, and a reversal is a possibility right now. Don't want to take that chance. And so what I'm going to do is go to dinner, and I will come back in a little while, and I'm going to take another trade that was called out within my charting service about, 7.5 hours ago, roughly. So I will come back and take another trade. I'm back from dinner, and I just wanted to point out that it did make it down to the exit of 86. All I had to do was, 96. All I had to do was hang on to it. But I jumped out a little early. I think I jumped out. I'm not sure exactly where I jumped out, but I jumped out a little bit early there. And but I was right on the trade. And where I took it was way up here, and it went all the way down, broke below the previous low, and went down to where I had called it to go to. And also, by the way, in my charting service, I also called oil to go down today as well. So not only did I call the entry 7.5 hours or 7 hours in advance, but I also called the direction as well. All because it's being controlled by a computer program and doesn't really trade, as the world believes, because con artists and criminals are the ones who are telling everybody. Anyway, I will come back soon, and I'm going to take another trade that was called out within my charting service. Okay, I've got a long position here. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to go for 60 ticks on this trade, as previously mentioned. This trade was called out in advance in my charting service approximately 9 hours ago, and this should be good for an easy 60 ticks here. So as you can see, I'm going right here would be the exit. That's the exit, that's the stop, and I'm going to tighten up the stop here. I'll be right back. Okay, stop is set for 15 ticks. 15 ticks on the stop, 60 ticks on the exit. That's 1 to 4. And this should be good for an easy 60 ticks right here. Again, this trade was called out in advance before it would even happen in my charting service. Long before it would ever happen. So anyway, I will come back shortly and show you the progression and of course the outcome of this trade. By the way, for those of you who might be interested, not only am I going to be doing seminars in Bangkok and Singapore soon, there's a very good possibility I'm going to open up a school, a physical presence school, to train people in person, in probably both Bangkok and Singapore. So I'll be doing the seminars, and also I'll be offering the personal training at the school, and I'll also offer the personal training online as well for those of you who, of course, can't come. Most people around the world won't be able to come, obviously. But for those of you who would rather learn in person, I'll be offering that in person to show you exactly how this works and watch you do it and get you to do it successfully, so that when you go home, you'll be able to do it successfully on your own. That's the whole goal to the way that I teaching the codes here. Because there's no reason why you can't do this for yourself, why anybody cannot do this for themselves. But some people learn a lot better in person than they do online, which is understandable. So for those of you who might be interested, it is all coming. By the way, I'm going to be uploading my blackjack course very soon, all for free, 4-hour course showing that I broke the code and exactly how to play the game, the betting strategy, everything from start to finish. I'm going to teach you exactly how I played for years professionally on the Las Vegas Strip, and show you how incredibly easy it is to do. All you need to do is know the proper way to play, know the code. Anyway, I will be back shortly to show you the progression and of course the outcome of this trade. Oh, by the way, I was speaking about mathematics earlier, and then I just mentioned how it's 1 to 4. It's a 15-tick stop, right, and a 60-tick exit. That's 1 to 4, 15, 30, 45, 60. That's called mathematics. You want to get the mathematics in your favor at all times. If you were to just play 20-20 or 1-1, you know, your mathematics is nowhere near as good. So when you're wrong, you're losing 15. So all you need to do is, you know, win. You can lose 4 of these trades and just win 1 of them, and you break even. And if you can get your, and you know, that's not very good. It's 25% success rate. If you could, you know, increase it to 50%, then you're really in the money. If you increase it to 75%, then you're really in the money. And you know, you can do that with, you know, if you know the code, if you know how it all works. And even if you don't know the code very well or can't do it very well, you can rely on me to do the charting service for you, and then you just follow exactly what, you know, basically what I say to do. And you're going to know what the entry is, and even what the exit will be, to a certain extent. I mean, you know, it's not as mathematical as I'd like it to be, but it's fairly mathematical. You just have to look to see what it's good for, what's it running. You know, if it's good, you know, take the average of what it's good for, and then play it a little conservative. That's what I'm doing. I'm playing 60 ticks because I know that's what it's good for. Anyway, I will be back shortly. By the way, on this trade, I didn't use the breakout technique, and I'm looking at it right now. There is a possibility that it will go the other way. If it does do that, hits the stop, I will go short on the trade. But I was using a for you charting members and for you code traders, I was using a code 1 entry, and it looked the code 1 entry looked to be good, and I assumed that that's going to turn into the proper trade. But looking at it right now, yeah, it is a decent possibility that it will go back the other way, but I won't know that until it hits the stop. So I have to come and let it hit the stop, and then I'll know, and then I'll go ahead and take the trade short. But that will be a lesson that, you know, you don't have to jump in if you don't want to. You can wait for the breakout technique, which I could have done as well, but you know, it's no big deal if it does, because, you know, even though I'm going to lose 15 ticks, I'll gain, like, let's say, at least another 35. So I'll still come out, you know, 35 ticks ahead from where I was, and I was up like, what, 25, so that would be 25, 30, you know, 50 ticks or more, 60 ticks ahead. So anyway, I will come back, and, you know, like I said, you're not going to get emotional about it. This is a game of mathematics. If it goes and hits the stop, it's no problem. I'll go short. If it doesn't, then it's not going to hit, then it's going to keep on going up. And it should be able to hit the exit. It's all simple, basic mathematics is all it is. And looking at it mathematically, not being afraid to lose, just playing the math. It's that simple. Learn how to do that, and you'll become successful. Okay, I'll come back. Worst thing you could ever do, though, is be afraid to lose. Because no matter what you do, even knowing the code, whatever, you're still going to be points where you're going to lose. If you're afraid of that, then you're already defeated as a trader. Anyway, I'll come back. Okay, using the breakout technique, it still hasn't produced an entry yet. I'll let you know when it does. But I just wanted to quickly show that it came down and just came right above the stop, and the stop held. That's the power of knowing, assuming I'm right and it's going to continue to go up. That's the power of knowing the code, the computer, and how it works. And because it'll tell you exactly where to place a stop, down to the tick. So anyway, it still has not produced an entry yet using the breakout technique. I will let you know as soon as it does, and I will tell you which way it will go. Using the breakout technique. In other words, if it is going to go long here, it isn't confirmed yet. Getting very close, though. Yeah, very, very close. I will come back. Okay, the long entry has been confirmed using the breakout technique. You would now be long. So if I had waited for the breakout technique instead of jumping in on the code 1, which is where I jumped in, you would now be long in this trade. And it's confirmed. It is going to go up. So, there you have it. See that 60 tick exit? It's almost mathematical certainty. And it may only go 50 or 55, that's true. But it's going to come way up here from way down here. I entered right there. It's going to come way up here from way down there. It's mathematically confirmed. Now how's that for trading? You know, really what that is a form of, well, I'm not going to say it, but anyway, that's the reason why these people are so pissed off at me, because they don't want people to be able to take advantage of this, you know. And let me just tell all of you Americans what's really going on. These are communists, okay? These people who did this are communists. They are the enemy. And the whole point of communism is to take your money and give it to them, and then make you all equally poor. That's the whole point. That's why they don't want people to make money at this, because people making money at this is their enemy. They hate that. They want you to be poor and have no job, work at McDonald's, work for them, work for their corporation as a slave. That's the whole point. And make you pay through the nose for everything, through inflation, through health care, everything. All to help you, of course. They're there to help you, you know. They're to be your friend, they're going to be your best friend. As long as you give them all of your money and you become poor. It's called communism. And it's being brought to the United States by these con artists and criminals. I am here to help set you free and teach you how the computer works so that you can make money from it. Simple as that. Off of any trading instrument there is in the world. Want to trade the German DAX? Want to trade the Forex? Want to trade gold, oil, silver, wheat, corn? You name it. The Japanese Nikkei, anything you want. Anything that's moving. That's why I trade oil, because it moves. But if you'd like to trade the German DAX, think it moves more, trade it. Use the code on it. The code works on everything, except for individual stocks. Anyway, I'll come back. But you can rest assured that that exit is going to be hit with a mathematical certainty of about 80 to 90%. Now, I know, take that back, it might come real close and then not hit. That is possible. That does happen. But there's a very good chance it's going to get hit, that exit right there, with mathematical certainty. Anyway, I'll come back. By the way, you can check my website. If you go under Contact Us, you can see it there. Actually, you go to Contact Us and you'll see another link, and if you go there and you read that whole page about me, you'll see at the very bottom I provide a picture of an email that I got. And the email comes from an IP address right near Washington, D.C., which is where all these con artists and freaks come from. And the email reads, the subject line reads Freemason. Freemason, I can't say the word, because if I say the word, that's called hate speech on YouTube. So you can read it for yourself. It says Freemason something, okay? You can figure that out for yourself. And it says, we are watching your every move, as is the SEC and FBI. Enjoy prison. Not long after that, I moved out of the United States and will never go back, because these freaks, these communist freaks, want to put me into prison for teaching this to the public. And that's why I'm going to be doing seminars in Bangkok and Singapore and rub it straight into their faces and teach the world who these people really are. That they are criminals and con artists and communist freaks. Is that hate speech? Oh, I'm sorry. Can't have hate speech against an ideology, can you? Anyway, I will be back to show you the progression and of course the outcome of this street. Just wanted to show you really quick that it's getting closer to the exit here. Still got quite a ways to go, another 40 ticks, but getting closer. I will come back. I just wanted to show really quick how it's coming back down right here. You know, if you didn't know how the computer works, you would get out. You know, get out to lock in some profit, right? True or not true? It's true. You would get out to lock in some profit. I mean, you wouldn't want to let all your profit go. You certainly wouldn't want to let it keep going down and lose, right? It just to a normal trader, all it looks like it's happening right now is that it's continuing with its trend down. You know, it's been going down. It comes up a little bit, goes down, comes up a little bit, goes down, comes up a little bit, goes down, comes up a little bit, goes down. You know, it's come up a little bit. Now it looks like it's going down again. True? And yet, if you know how the computer works, you know that that's not true. That it's going to turn back around before it hits the stop right here, and it's going to end up here. So there's absolutely no reason to get out. That's the power of knowing how the computer works. Now, is there any system in the world that you can compare to that? No. It's a mathematical impossibility. Anyway, just trying to show off the system. Show off the fact that I broke the code to the computer program. And that if you want to learn how to trade, then you want to learn how the computer works. And the tells that it leaves behind. So that you don't get out early. So that you can hit these big exits. That's the whole point. Anyway, I'll come back and show you the progression and of course the outcome of this trade. By the way, to again prove that this isn't some sort of a replay, as the communists want to say that it is, I will type in world clock here. And we'll go to the world clock. And as you can see, the current time in Los Angeles is 8:57. The current time in Bangkok is 22:57, which is 10:57. 10:57, almost 11 o'clock right now. Now, if I minimize this, remember what I said, Los Angeles is 8:57, right? Minimize this, time is 8:57. So, this isn't any sort of a replay, as they want to say. Of course, they're going to say anything and everything they can possibly think of course. Because why? Why do they do that? Well, they want to discredit this. You say, well, why do they want to do that? Well, because they hate people, and they don't want them to know how to trade. That's why most all the systems out there you see are all total scams, is because the communists are behind those systems, purposely teaching people this so that they become scammed. And then when they scam people, they feel really good about it. They feel great about it. In fact, it's like a religion to them. Basically, it is a religion. Their holy book says to scam people. Not scam themselves, but to scam everybody else in the world. And they are contrary to all men. Anyway, I will come back shortly and show you the progression and outcome of this trade. But you will admit, I hope, that there's nothing on the chart to indicate this thing is going to go in the other direction now and go up and hit this exit. That would be the farthest it's gone up the whole entire day. Since the day started, right? That'd be the furthest it's gone up the whole entire day since the day started. All it's done is gone down, up a little bit, 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 down, bottoming out here, and then up a little bit. That's all it's done. If it continues with its trend, it's going to continue to go down. That's what the chart screams right now, is that it's going to continue to go down. How many people do you think are out there going short? And yet they're all going the wrong way. If you know how the computer works, you know it's going to go up here. And I will be back in a little while to show it to you. And I just proved that this is not a replay. So I'm calling it out in advance before it even happens. And I did it, what, 10 hours ago. I called this out. Anyway, I will be back. By the way, I didn't trade yesterday or Friday because I was in Singapore, and I've got some pictures of Singapore I'm going to show on my blog, and also I'm going to start showing some pictures of where it is I live, and where I go to the park to go jogging, and you'll see how nice the park is, and you'll see how nice just everywhere around here. I mean, it's just really super cool, this place, and the shopping, and there's just nothing like it. My gym, I have this huge saltwater pool, gigantic. It's got tennis courts and ping pong tables and badminton and huge, gigantic weight training place. I mean, it's the nicest gym I've ever belonged to in my life or have ever seen. I've never seen anywhere as nice as this place. And it's just, the life here is just so good. It really is. It's amazing how good life is here. And when you're stuck in the United States, you just simply have no clue. You're just totally ignorant. I mean, if you keep being told by everything around you that this is the best country in the world, it's the best country in the world, best country in the world, guess what you're going to believe? You're going to believe it's the best country in the world. But I mean, you go somewhere else and you realize, wow, have I been lied to like there's no tomorrow? It's just so far superior here in every way. Well, I shouldn't say every way, but in most ways that matter and that count, it's just far superior here. And I'm going to start showing that, and start showing what my life is like here, to hopefully inspire some of you that, and to look at the city. I mean, you go up on top of these hotels, these buildings, and you go up to the rooftop bars up there, and you can overlook the whole city, and you can see how beautiful Bangkok is. It's just lit up with all these different colored lights. It just looks majestic and beautiful. I don't know if there's any city like it anywhere in the world. And it's really amazing. It's amazing here. And I took a taxi from the airport to where I live, which is about a 1-hour drive. And do you know how much the taxi cost? The taxi cost less than $10. Less than $10 for a 1-hour drive. And in the States that would have cost like, I'm not exactly sure, but $80, $100. So you're talking about 1/8 to 1/10 the cost for a taxi around here. It's just amazing, and the food is just amazing. The food, every kind of food. I'm not talking about just Thai food. I'm talking about everything. Sushi, any kind of food, you name it, doesn't matter what it is. It's just very, very tasty here. Everything tastes so good here. It's really quite remarkable. I mean, I have Italian food here all the time, and it's the best Italian food I've ever had. And Thais are making it, not Italians. And it's just, the most tasty Italian food I've ever had. Sushi, same thing. Everything here. Everything is like that here. Doesn't matter what it is. It's a magical place is what it is. And I'm going to share it a little bit with you on my blog so that you can see it for yourself and see what I have to say about it. And maybe one day you'll want to come here. Anyway, you can see it going down. You can see there's absolutely no reason in logic, as far as a trading perspective, to hang on to this trade. But watch what happens. I'll come back. If by chance this trade does go down and hit the stop, I'm just going to call it a night, and I'll recalculate the code, and of course I'll recalculate the code for my charting service, and I'll figure out exactly what it is. But it should be correct, and it should shoot up here. The only thing I don't like about this trade is that it's taking forever, and it's getting late here. It's 11:25 p.m. And so I don't really want to stay up much past midnight, so I'm going to give it till then. If it comes down and hits the stop, then it just means that I got the code wrong, and I'll recalculate it for tomorrow and put it up into my charting service. But it should be right. It's just playing a game here, but it's taking forever, and I'm going to have to wait for a little while, but I don't want to wait too long. And if it makes me wait too long, I'm just going to exit the trade, assuming my stop doesn't get hit, of course. But if it's not going to hit the stop, soon it'll start shooting up, start going up high. It's just trying to bait as many people in as possible to go short, and then it'll start shooting back up again and go break this high and go up to the exit. Anyway, I'll come back. It's now a little bit past 12 midnight here. I'm really getting tired, so I'm not going to give it much longer. And I'm probably just going to exit the trade early anyway. What I'd like to see it do is just shoot up a little bit here. And I'm just going to exit. It's most likely will hit the exit, but I just, simply don't want to wait up for it. Some trades, it does it fairly quickly, and some trades, like this one, take forever. I mean, it is going to make it within the next hour and a half. It's just that's like 1:30 in the morning to me, and I don't feel like, waiting up for it. Usually go to bed by 12. So, and today was a long day because I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get up for my flight from Singapore back to Bangkok. And so I'm tired. So anyway, I'm going to give it a little while longer. Just would like to see it shoot up, and I'm going to exit manually and call it a night. I'll be back. It's starting to make a little move here. I'd like to see it move back up a little bit more. Let's say up into the 70s would be good. And then I'll just exit. Or what I even might do is just put a break-even stop on it and just let it go. Because most likely it's going to hit the exit. And even if it doesn't and it comes all the way back down, it'll just break me even. So. But as a general rule, I don't really like to do that. Anyway, I'll come back. Okay, the time is now, let's see here, Bangkok, it's 12:18 a.m. And in Los Angeles it's 10:18 a.m. And you can see here 10:18 a.m. So, this thing is most likely going to shoot up here. It's going to break this high. It's going to go up to here. But I can't stay up any longer. I'm like, I really need to go to sleep. So, unfortunately, I've got to bail on this trade. I'd love to be able to stay up for it, but not tonight. Anyway, I am going to come back tomorrow. I would like to see it just shoot up here into the 70s one time, and I'll exit the trade manually. Keep trying to give it another minute. This thing just is taking forever. So I'm going to exit here in just 1 minute. Maybe it'll shoot up while I got it on camera. And I'll be back tomorrow though to take more trades and show the power of knowing how the computer works behind all of the movement. And of course I'll be back for the charting tomorrow to chart it all out again and recalculate the code, and so that we can hone it in and take precision level entries and make our good trades. Simple as that. Okay, I have exited the trade. Don't want to stay up any longer for it. So I'm gonna go. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you traders are doing well, and I hope that you charting subscribers of mine are doing well and hit the trades that you see me hit today, and at least took some of the action and got some of the profit. And as you can see, it's not that difficult. So I'll be back tomorrow. Happy trading, everyone. And if you're not doing well this week, I promise I'll have the mentoring program up. Just give me a few more days, and also I will have the blackjack secret code up as well to my YouTube channel here, showing the world that I broke the blackjack code when I was only 21 years old, which took me 3 hours to do, playing in Las Vegas for the first time at Caesar's Palace. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. Take care, everyone, and happy trading.